Nearpod into your Canvas so that it goes to your speed grader. This is a great tool because you can see every single individual student's work, but you can also grade it quickly and have it with all of your other grades in your grade book right on Canvas. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have Nearpod. So if you don't have Nearpod over here, you're going to go to your settings. You'll click on apps and then Nearpod. You can click on it, add the app, and then you'll need your consumer key and shared secret. If you're not sure what that is, you can ask your MRS, or you can Google Nearpod consumer key and shared secret. Once you have your Nearpod, you can go over to Nearpod and click on it, and you actually don't even have to go to an external website or tab at the top. Your Nearpod will be right here logged in. You can go to Nearpod on your SSO. So when you click on McKinney SSO, that will also have your Nearpod right here. So however you like to get onto Nearpod, you can get onto Nearpod. I think it's easier when it's all in one place. So I'm going to show you how to add a Nearpod lesson and then embed it into your assignment. So first you need to find a Nearpod lesson. So this is my library. I'm not going to have a lesson for my next week in my library for force. So I'm going to look in our school library and see if anyone has shared a lesson about force. And no one has, so I'm going to look at the district library and see, has anyone shared a lesson about force? No. So I'm going to go to the Nearpod library. Okay, I see a lot of different stuff about forces. I want to make sure that I'm only looking at 5th grade. So now I'm seeing some interesting stuff here. Force in motion, simple machines, all of these different awesome lessons. So I'm going to choose this first one, simple machines, what are force and motion and work. And I'm going to look at the preview to kind of see what does this look like if I were to give it to my students. Is it going to fit with my teaks and what I'm doing in my classroom? Okay, this is a before you read. They're giving a matching. This is what I would say is a pre-assessment on here. Okay, and then they're showing the answers after the students have done it. Okay, here's a 1-question quiz. Then there's a reading passage. So they're saying these are the things that you're going to need to know in this reading passage. Okay, so far I really like this. So I'm going to add it to my library so that I can use it. So once I add it to my library, I could edit it if I felt like some of the stuff wasn't really a good fit for me, or I could leave it exactly how it is. So for today, we're just going to leave it how it is. I'm going to click on Nearpod again, and that's going to take me back to my home screen. And you can see that the simple machines is right here. So now I'm going to go into my modules. This is where I set up all of my classes for the week. So for week 10, which is October 12th through the 16th, we're going to be talking about testing forces. Now this is my week. So it's got a lot of stuff here, and we are going to add our Nearpod lesson. So it needs to be an assignment, a new assignment, and I'm going to say week 10. This is so that when it's in the grade book, I can see exactly what week it is because it goes in alphabetical order. So I'm going to say week 10, Tuesday. Ooh, I'm going to spell it correctly, I swear. And Nearpod. Okay, add item. Now, every time you add an item, it's going to go to the bottom of your module. So it'll be the last thing. If you add a module, it'll go to the bottom of your entire set of modules. So I'm going to click on week 10, Tuesday, Nearpod. I'm going to edit. Now, I'm not going to add anything right here at all. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to assign this a point. You can assign however much you want as far as points go. You can say that you want it to be a percentage, a complete or incomplete, a letter grade, whatever you want to do, not graded. But then when you get to submission, you are going to choose external tool, and then you're going to find the tool that you want. So you're going to look at the tools that you have here. You're going to go to your Nearpod. You're going to be patient because for whatever reason, this takes a second to pop up. What's great about this is it's going to pull up all of your Nearpod lessons, and you'll be able to choose which Nearpod lesson that you want. And this is really taking a long time. I'm going to close it and open it back up again. There we go. Okay, so I have my simple machines right here. I can choose if I want live participation or if I want it to be student paced. I'm going to choose on student paced and select. So now they're going to be submitting this in Nearpod, but it's going to show up through my speed grader. I'm just going to leave it on unlimited attempts. You could load it in a new tool. I like to leave it on here because then it'll just show up right in this little box and they can just stay on Canvas. Okay, you can assign it to everyone. You can assign it to just one class. You can assign it to certain people. It's really up to you how you want this to look. You can add a due date. You can say you want it to be available from this day, or if you want to say Tuesday because you know when you're going to need it for your class is on Tuesday. I'm going to leave it here so that we can see it right now in our student mode. I'm going to click on Save and Publish. Now, if I want to test it out and make sure that I'm going to be able to see this when I'm in student mode, I'm going to go over to Home and click on Student View. So now when I go to Science or Social Studies here or modules over here, it's going to take me to the same place, which is going to be my week 10. Testing forces, I have a little note that just says no school on Monday, and then my Tuesday Nearpod that we just assigned. And you can see I have my test student here. And I have my Nearpod set up so that they cannot just skip through if there is a question, they have to do it. So now we can do this, right? We can go to the next one. We can see the answers. And on this quiz question, it's not going to let us skip it. Oops, it looks like you haven't done it. So now we're going to have to, which statements are true? It wants us to choose. Okay, I think we're good. And then as it goes through, you'll get to see, oh, I didn't pick both of them. You'll get to see the answers that they choose. So I'm going to leave student view. And I'm going to go into speed grader for this assignment. And you'll see all I have for this assignment is my one test student. But what's great is it shows you the entire report right here for that student. You can see their participation. You can see the overall class participation. You can see what they answered here. You can see that they did not answer right here. So if they just click one thing and say, oh, I'm done with Nearpod, you can go back and say, no, you did not do all of those things. And then you can grade accordingly. Shows you exactly what this looked like. So you can go into Nearpod and you can see these things as well, but I like it being all in one right here. And then you can just go over here and you can assign whatever grade. For my stations, I usually make them 1 point as a participation credit. You could do them as complete or incomplete or really whatever you want. So that is how you have a lesson from Nearpod right on your Canvas.